Hi everyone, welcome to the channel. Today I'm going to talk about my top 15 movies of 2023. Now, normally my channel has just been about music. I started with covers of music that I like, piano covers, and I also do reviews now and sometimes tutorials. And in 2024 and beyond, I'm still going to do all those things. But I also have a deep interest in movies, and for some reason I just feel like it's time I start talking about movies on here. And I want to throw some movie related content on here on 2024 as well, because movies are the other big interest in my life, music and movies, and I just want to talk about it. So I'm going to do that on the channel now, and hopefully that doesn't turn people off, that it's not just a music channel anymore and now I'm talking about movies too. But I don't know, hopefully people are still interested in hearing what I have to say, even if my channel is now music and a little bit movies as well. Anyways, I saw 38 movies this year, and I did not see everything. Obviously, I was working full time and then I started grad school, so it's funny. I've seen some TikTok videos, people who review for a living, and they're like, I saw 100 movies. I wish I could have seen more. And I'm like, oh my God. Like, what? Like, it's so funny when you say that to the average viewer who does not see that many, and the reviewers are saying, I wish I had seen more than 100. It's like, calm down. So I saw 38. I didn't see everything, but these were my favorite 15 out of the 38. And there's still more I'd like to see. Like, I didn't see the Holdovers. I feel like I might really like that, and that could be on the list. And some other ones, Anatomy of a Fall, Zone of Interest, American Fiction. I want to see those Oscar contenders. I still didn't see some of those. But as of right now, January 2024, this is the list that I have for the top 15 of 2023. So let's get into it. Number 15 is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem. I saw this movie twice. I thought it was so much fun. I really had a blast with it. I love the animation style, which is obviously inspired by the Spider-Verse movies, but it has a lot of loose lines, like it looks like doodles kind of, and it's a really interesting animation. A lot of jokes, and I find most of them are pretty funny. Maybe too many jokes sometimes, but overall, very funny movie and entertaining. And I just had so much fun with it. And that's really all I can say. Genuinely very fun, very entertaining, and relatable story with the turtles trying to fit into human society. So overall, a really good one for me. Saw 10. So yeah, I watched a lot of franchises this year, such as Friday the 13th, Halloween, Alien. I watched like all the movies in those franchises, and I think some other ones too. I'd like to do Saw and Nightmare on Elm Street and just keep going with horror franchises. So I haven't seen all the Saw movies. I really haven't seen any of them, but I really enjoyed this one. And I have the first one on 4K, so I rewatched that recently. And this movie really is interesting in that you get to see John Kramer's side of things. You don't really approve of what he's doing, but you do understand a little bit his motives. And the people that he is torturing really are bad people who did a lot of bad things. So overall, this movie was very engaging, surprisingly good. I really had a great time with it. And there's some intense gore, as I guess there are in all the Saw movies, but as a horror fan, it gives you what you want on the horror side of things, but also it's an engaging story and just a very interesting movie. So yeah, one of the better Saw movies for sure. Number 13 is Bottoms. I found this to be probably the funniest movie of the year for me. It was just so crazy, so off the wall, so absurd. It's really not grounded in reality, and that's what I love about it. It takes the absurdity to such an extreme degree, and it does it, I don't know, it just does it really well. And the main two characters are really interesting, have great chemistry, they're just really funny together, and this one was very enjoyable. Number 12, we have Killers of the Flower Moon. What can I say? This movie is epic. It's 3.5 hours, and it feels like it makes use of all that time, and I didn't feel like there was any wasted time. It used all that time very well. I do feel like Lily Gladstone's character could have had a bit more to do. She was a little bit in the background, but overall, amazing performances, a very interesting story that I'm just invested in seeing how it unravels and how the main characters deal with the conflict that's unfolding. And it was just a highly interesting movie with amazing performances. Number 11 is Poor Things by Yorgos Lanthimos. This is a unique movie. Like all his movies, he is a director who has a unique vision and style. I love the look of this movie, the sets, the imaginary feel of the worlds. It's a really creative look, heightened by interesting cinematography. So the production design alone is interesting, and then you have interesting cinematography too. It's also really funny and just an interesting story of this character. You want to see how she grows and progresses and what she goes through and who she is by the end of it. It's all very interesting, very weird. I love how weird it is, and it was the kind of weird that I could get on board with. So I had a really good time with this one. Number 10 is Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning. This franchise, it just keeps delivering. I actually haven't seen the first 3 movies, but I have seen 4, 5, and 6, and now this is the 7th. And all of those are really solid, good movies. I mean, you have amazing action set pieces. Tom Cruise is doing amazing stunts, and the action has consequences and stakes to it. I feel like the threat is interesting. I mean, it's maybe not the most unique story in the world. I don't think any of them are, but the action has consequences and stakes, and the main character is put through trials. And yeah, what can I say? It's just I had a really good time with it. So that's number 10, Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1. I'm looking forward to Part 2. Number 9 is The Iron Claw, and like many movies on this list, I saw it more than one time, so I saw this one 2 times. This movie is emotionally devastating. It has to be the saddest movie of the year. I can't give away what happens, but it's really sad, and it's not just sad. There's still some hope in there, and the emotional tones are balanced very well. We have some amazing performances, and it's really about family dynamics and how these sons look up to their dad so much and try to meet his expectations so much that it damages their own life, and how emotionally abusive the dad is. It's just a really fascinating story and a true story, and I loved it. Number 8 is Suzume. This one was very imaginative. I just feel like I'm taking on this journey that's so, it makes you feel creative, or like you're taking part in something creative, and that's very refreshing. It has a really awesome soundtrack, and the animation is breathtakingly beautiful. It's absolutely stunning. Some of just the way they draw the skies and the landscapes, it's absolutely gorgeous. So I really enjoyed this one, Suzume. Number 7 is Talk to Me. This was my favorite horror movie of the year. I still haven't seen When Evil Lurks. That's another one that people are putting on the top of their list, but since I didn't see that one, I'll go with Talk to Me as my favorite of the year. This is a horror movie that feels original, new, and unique. Like a lot of movies on this list, I'm emotionally invested in this character and what she's going through. These movies just, when I feel connected to the character and the story, that's a lot of times one of the main things that can bump a movie up on this list, as opposed to the many other movies I've seen this year where I'm not really invested. So yeah, a really cool ending too, and I wanted to see what happened to this character, and the horror elements were all really well done and really interesting. So that's my favorite horror of the year. Talk to Me. Number 6 is Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. What a great end to this trilogy. I still find it very funny and entertaining, just like all the other movies. But unlike the first two movies, this one is intense with Rocket's backstory. It's emotional, it's tragic, and it's effective. It really makes you hate the villain and what he's doing, and you're along for the ride because you want to see what happens with Rocket and be on this journey with him. Like many of these other movies, we're on a journey with these main characters and we're connected. So I felt like that, like very connected, and I just had a really good time with this one. Godzilla -1. This is number 5. Again, I'm very emotionally invested in this main character. I find his trauma to be interesting, and I want to see how he is able to overcome it, yes or no, throughout the movie. And Godzilla is amazing. He's destructive. He's unhinged. Is it a he or an it? Godzilla is just unhinged and really animalistic in this movie, and you can apply all those post-World War II metaphors about, or the end of World War II, the atomic bomb and all that. That wartime imagery and metaphors applies really well. It's just, I've only seen the original Godzilla and this one. I have a lot more Godzilla movies to watch, but this was really incredible. One of the most effective dramas of the year. Not just the Godzilla movie, but it's a really effective drama. And I'm invested in these characters and their story. And it was just really powerful. So definitely another good one. John Wick Chapter 4. These action sequences in this movie, some of them go on for 25 minutes. I remember because the second time I saw it in the theater, I actually timed the action sequences, and they were usually like 20 or 25 minutes long. Some really long, incredible action sequences with incredible camera work, lighting, the cinematography. Everything looks beautiful. The action is incredible, and the story is good. It's it's a really good story, really amazing action. I had a great time with this one. I kind of wanted to be the end of it. I'm worried about them making a John Wick 5 I think they're talking about that, but this is just like Guardians was a satisfying conclusion, this is another really satisfying conclusion. Number 3 is Oppenheimer. I was so excited about this movie. Just like Killers of the Flower Moon, this one is 3 hours, and I barely feel it go by because it's so stuffed with so much information that every minute matters of that 3-hour runtime. And there's not really any downtime, especially the way it's edited. It feels really intense, and it feels like every second matters, and the conflict is rising, rising, rising. The intensity is rising throughout. I was on the edge of my seat the whole time, so I love Oppenheimer. I can't wait to get it on 4K and dig into the Blu-ray extras and special features. Number 2 is Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. This is the first movie on here that I can say is absolutely perfect. I gave it 5 stars on Letterboxd. I don't give a lot of 5 stars, but I gave this 5 stars because I love everything. I love every single moment, the humor, the music, the journeys of the main characters, the conflict with Spider-Man 2099 and the Spot, the idea of the canon events. It's not just entertaining, but it's really deep too. The journey that Miles goes on and the things he's realizing about himself, learning about himself, along with Gwen as well, who we spend more time with in this movie. I saw this movie 4 times in theaters. 4 times, and I have it on 4K now, and I was thinking of watching it, but I was like, I don't know yet. I love it a lot, but I don't know if I can go back to it right now. After seeing it 4 times, I think that's enough for now, but I probably will be watching it in 2024, 2025. This movie is just perfect for me. Everything I wanted. I have no complaints. And at number 1 on our list, we have Past Lives, the romance drama from A24, director Celine Song. This was her debut as a director, and again, just like Spider-Verse, this movie is just perfect. I love everything about it. I think it's a beautiful story. I saw it 2 times in theaters. Definitely made me cry. I haven't seen a lot of romance movies, but this one, especially with what happens at the end and the way this ends up, I don't want to spoil it, but I love the maturity of this story and the realism, and I think the characters were very real in the way they behaved and the way they handled the situation. And just like all the other movies on this list, and especially so with this one, I'm extremely emotionally invested in the characters and the story, and I love being in this world with them. And it was just an extremely touching romance story across time, from the time when these characters are little kids to when they're adults. and I just enjoyed every minute of it. Just like Spider-Verse, I feel this one is perfect. I have no complaints. Maybe the reason it's number one over Spider-Verse is just that I guess I'm an adult, I'm 29 years old, and something about it hits me a little deeper than Spider-Verse, because Spider-Verse at the end of the day still is kind of a kids and family movie, and while I have so much fun with that and I think it's perfect, this one feels a little deeper for me emotionally, and I just I love it. It was the best movie of the year for me. It's a perfect movie. I'll recommend it to anyone and everyone. And so that's my list of the best movies of 2023. Again, it's just my list, my personal opinion, my favorites, and who knows what is objectively the best. But for me, these were the best movies of 2023. I saw 38 movies, and yeah, there were still some. Who knows? The list could change if I see more. Like, I haven't seen some of the upcoming Oscar ones, like The Holdovers, Anatomy of a Fall, Zone of Interest. So this could change this list, but for now, in January 2024, this is the list as it is, and I'm pretty happy with it. I don't think Past Lives is going to lose that number one spot, I'm sure of that. And Spider-Verse and Oppenheimer and most of those things are going to stay where they are. But again, it could change if I see more movies. But yeah. Anyways, thanks for watching. Thanks for being here. Thanks for listening to me. Write in the comments below if you have your own list of your favorite 2023 movies. Do you agree with me? Disagree? What do you like? Dislike? I'd like to hear what you think. So please comment below, and thanks for stopping by. See you next time.